Hello all and welcome back to the Pig and Whistle for another episode of Tales from Azeroth. Come, grab a drink and relax as I go through some stories and moments that you can hopefully relate to. And today it's a continuation from last episode, and it's about Phase 5 and the opening of Anchorage and the gates of Anchorage. But more specifically, it's going to be about my server and everything that's happening on my server. So, if you are familiar with Classic WoW, you have many different servers, EU and NA, and all of them have their own Horde and Alliance side. Each vary with how much Horde and Alliance there are, but generally it's about 50-50, 40 to 60, anywhere in between that. There's some which are literally like 99% Horde, 1% Alliance, but you know, that's the story for another time. But every single realm, every single faction on that, or the two factions on that realm, are quite giving, forgiving in terms of the war effort. So they obviously want to get into Anchorage really early and start ready to raiding. Now, with regards to this, the Horde and Alliance have to work together. There's certain resources that the Horde need to hand in, and there's certain resources the Alliance need to hand in. But there's also, I think there's a couple that are like the same. So like, you might still have to hand in some heavy leather for both factions, but for the other two leathers, the Horde might need to hand in light and like thick leather, and the Alliance might need to hand in like rugged or what's the other one? Or like Devil Sword leather. I know it's not Devil Sword leather. Trust me, that would be ridiculous. But you get the point. There are differences between what the Horde and Alliance have to hand in. So, my realm is Zandalar Tribe, and we've actually become quite notorious over the past couple weeks since the AQ event and the AQ patch, I should say. Now, there's a guild on our server. I'm not going to name any sort of guild names or people, etc., but there is a guild on our server that are self-proclaimed the best on the server. Now, it's a bit ridiculous considering they are hardcore PvE. Now, you can't see, but I'm doing air quotes around that, because compared to other PvE guilds on different realms, they would look absolute trash, I would say. That's why they've picked a PvP/RP realm, because there wouldn't be any competition in terms of PvE on it. So they're self-proclaimed best on the server, but they're just awful like on any other realm. So what's happening is the Horde are griefing. They're griefing the guild, and to be honest, the Alliance also are not too bothered about the griefing, because this guild has such a reputation for being big-headed. The Alliance don't care whether or not like they are being griefed or not, and we're sort of we're just people sort of getting hit by the barrage almost, if that makes sense. Like the other Alliance are I can't think of the word, you know what I mean, but it's basically all the Alliance and Horde that are not in this guild are kind of griefing this one guild, because they said that they want the gates open they want the gates to be open on the 11th of August. Now, the 11th of August, from the day that this podcast is going out, will be 4 days away. And I've got some stats right in front of me here. So, with the war effort, you have to hand in everything that the Horde and Alliance need to hand in. And then there is a 5-day period where it takes all of the resources to get to Silithus from the major cities. Now, you don't see this in game, but like you don't see a transport in game. You would just see the resources diminishing in the cities every day, which is kind of cool. I quite like that aspect because it takes a while for that sort of bundle of resources to get to the place to set up for the like big Encourage war effort. So you got the 5 days wait time, and then you've got the 10-hour war or something it's called. But basically, once them 5 days are up, there'll be 10 hours where there'll be elite mobs, world bosses, stuff like that, that come out of the gates into Silithus, and you basically fight them. That's it for 10 hours. So after that 10 hours is when the gates open and you can enter the raid of Encourage. So here are the stats currently on both the Horde and Alliance contribution. So no matter what, it's not going to open on the 11th because the 5 days of travel time for all the resources still hasn't even happened. So that already puts us on the 12th at the very earliest. And trust me, that is not going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. But here are the stats. So you've got for Horde. Now Horde are the ones griefing. They will vendor a lot of the materials. They'll just straight up vendor them and not even put them on auction, so that this guild who have Horde alts on the realm, who have bought like another account to make a Horde alt to farm the Horde war effort, it's to stop them from getting hold of it and handing it in for the war effort. So it's hilarious. But they vendor it, or they inflate the price. Now, at one point, it was a 1 Peace Bloom. So Peace Bloom is one of the very first herbs you can like pick in like Elwyn Forest, in Duratar, in Mulgore, in Dunmorrow, Teldrassil, one of the very, very first herbs. 1 Peace Bloom, 100 gold. It's just absurd what like the Horde are doing to grief this guild, and I'm Alliance myself. Like, I would like to raid AQ eventually, yes. It will get to that. We will eventually raid AQ, but seeing this like happen is kind of hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm not even bothered by it because this guild really are kind of smug about everything. And it's good to see that, you know, there is some power that they just can't have because you have to rely on the player base. You have to rely on everyone on the server, not just your own guild. But here are the stats. So in terms of, so there's 3 things that you need to get per category. So 3 like types of bars, 3 types of herbs, 3 types of leather, and 3 types of bandages, and 3 types of cooking. So for the Horde, you have, this is rounded up, by the way. I'm not going for exact numbers. This is rounded up. So you have 26,000 out of 90,000 copper bars. So that's like not even halfway yet. And we've been out and we've been here for like a week, just over a week now since the patch dropped. But if you take that into account, 26,000 out of 90,000, you still need 60,000, like 63,000, if you want me to be precise. You still need 63,000 copper bars just for that one to be checked off and done. And most servers are going to be raiding this coming Sunday. So it's the 7th now, the 9th, I believe it is. Quickly check. Yep. The 9th is the Sunday. Most guilds will be raiding on the Sunday in Encourage because it's open. The gates have been opened. Everyone's done the war effort. Congrats to them, honestly. More than happy about that. At least I get to watch it on like Twitch or something. I'm sure people will be streaming it, which is great because it gives my guild the information that we need in order to go through a smooth like raid, which is really nice. But carrying on with the stats. So you got 20,000 out of 22,000 tin bars, which is really good. That's nearly done. 17,000 out of 18,000 mithril bars. Again, nearly done. But there's one thing that I've noticed in recording all of this information, that the Horde will be slacking on one particular item within that category. So the Horde have obviously gotten together in their Discord and said, we're going to target this and stop them from doing this material for the war effort, which is absolutely perfect, to be honest. It is hilarious just seeing. But onto the herbs, you've got 48,000 out of 96,000 Peace Bloom, so 50% exactly, pretty much. 18,000 out of 19,000 Fire Bloom. Not bad, pretty much there. You got 15,000 out of 26,000 Purple Lotuses. Again, not bad. But you've got about half Peace Bloom. 50% of the Peace Bloom has been farmed. And a big thing about the Peace Bloom, I know that they're targeting this because everyone is sniping the Peace Bloom. Like I said, there was one Peace Bloom up on the auction house for 100 gold. So I know the Horde are targeting that, and they're trying their best to just sort of camp it. Because it's very tough to camp Peace Bloom, because it's in such low level zones. And if you're on a certain level character, I don't think you're flagged for PvP. And you're not flagged for PvP in Alliance zones if you're Alliance, and Horde zones if you're on Horde. So it's very tough to stop that sort of progression. But I think they're just trying to pick the Peace Bloom like before them. I think that's literally all they're trying to do, which is hilarious. So moving on to the leather, you've got 35,000 out of 60,000 heavy leather, 53,000 out of 80,000 thick leather, 43,000 out of 60,000 rugged leather. Again, heavy leather, just over 50%. They're trying to target that one, I believe, because it's sort of the easiest to contest, because it's lower levels. It's around level 20-ish, I believe, something like that. 20-ish mobs that you start getting heavy leather. Yeah, medium leather is about 16. Yeah, I'd say about 20 to 30 range. So it's very easy to sort of, because they're all contested zones, so you can PvP in that. So you can grief the people in the guild by killing them, or you can just skin the mob itself. So again, very easy to sort of grief them with regards to that. Moving on to the bandages, you've got 100,000 out of 250,000 wall bandages, 180,000 out of 250,000 mage weave bandages, and you have 220,000 out of 400,000 rune cloth. Now this one is kind of tough. So with bandages, you obviously need cloth. And to farm that amount of cloth would take so long, it's unreal. You'd need instances, really. The best way to farm wall cloth would be in stockades. But stockades is in the middle of Stormwind City. So Horde cannot necessarily do that. Like the Horde ults that this guild have made on a different account can't just walk into Stormwind, can they? So what they're doing is they're farming it on their level 60s, putting it up on the neutral auction house. Now the neutral auction house can be accessed by both factions, both Horde and Alliance. And these neutral auction houses are in Gadgetstan and Booty Bay. These are the two neutral auction houses. I'm not too sure if there's another. There might be one in Winter Spring. Correct me if I'm wrong. But these auction houses are seen by everyone. So these these stacks of wool cloth or whatever, these leathers, these Peace Blooms, these copper bars, will get put up onto the auction house, this neutral auction house, and then they would switch to their Horde character and buy them from the neutral auction house. Simple enough, right? Well, here's the thing. People have been sniping the auctions that they put up. So people will be sat next to the neutral auction house, refresh it constantly to see if this guild have put up any stacks of, say, the war effort for a very cheap price, and then buy it and then resell it at a higher price. Which, I'm not even going to lie, that's a great way to make some gold within the game. But it is hilarious because when the guild find out who bought it, because it will come through in the mail of who purchased it, and then they can like find them within the game when they're logged on and see what guild they're in. Guild masters have been getting messages from this guild, basically hateful messages, saying to like, why are you doing this? Why are your players doing this, etc. Which I find hilarious, because the Horde on my realm are dicks. They're just straight up dicks. I know that they are. I know they are, 100%. But this has become something of a meme in itself. The Horde and Alliance are working together to grief one Alliance guild, pretty much. And it's just quality to see, to be honest. It's honestly one of the best things to see. But look, I mean, at least for the Horde side, they've at least done the cooking materials. So apparently Horde are very good at cooking. Good for them, honestly. I mean, they have to be good at cooking. Have you seen where they live? They live in a barren wasteland where they can't grow any vegetables, so, you know, it's a meat or nothing, to be honest. So, on the other hand of that, you have the Alliance contribution. And here's where we stand on the Alliance side. Everything is complete apart from two things. We need light leather and linen bandages. Now these two things can be acquired so easily and quickly because they're both very low level zones that you get these things from. So that will be done within a matter of a couple days because of how close it was. I'm pretty sure they were both 90% done for the most part. But here's because of what is happening on our realm with this whole war effort and the Horde griefing the war effort, as well as the Alliance sniping some stuff from the guild that want to complete the war effort, we have become, in the past couple weeks, the top of the WoW subreddit. And what Reddit is basically where people post big sort of moments from games to, like, I don't know, other hobbies, completely other hobbies, like random ass hobbies. But our little realm, PvP RP realm, has been on the top of this subreddit and the biggest talk in WoW at the moment for the past couple weeks because of what is happening with everything on this war effort. Now, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely quality what is happening on the realm. I find it really fun. I find it basically the epitome of what WoW Classic is. It is just a game that can be exploited and manipulated to sort of draw things out, to almost bend it to your sort of will and what you want to do. It makes it so much more enjoyable that there is drama on a realm instead of it just being, yep, gates are open, let's go in. Yep, that raid's cleared. Nice, we just wait for phase 6 now, which is Naxxramas. It makes it so much better in that regard because the community, now everyone says this is cheesy as hell, but the community within Classic WoW is what makes the game. It's what makes the game compared to retail, because retail, you don't see the same person twice. It's a very rare to, we'll say, because it's not impossible, but it is very rare to. And that's just what is brilliant about the game. The fact you can exploit these sort of things, you can manipulate it, and it's not like the Horde are alone in this. They're not griefing just for the hell of it. They're griefing because this guild, I do want to say they deserve it. I think most Alliance guilds would agree on that server and say that they do deserve it. Now, I could be wrong. They could just be... Some of them could be very nice. I'm sure some of them are very nice. I'm not even going to try that. But the way that they've gone about everything from day one on this realm has given them the reputation of the guild to be griefed almost. If that makes any sort of sense. That is the reputation that they've got. They are the guild to grief if you want to grief anyone on this server. Because they deserve it. Because they think they're the big, bad guys at the server and no one can touch them. They think they're invincible. There's the words. There's the words I'm looking for. So, to see everyone proving that wrong and disproving that they are clearly not invincible and they can be griefed and pissed about with is just absolutely quality. And I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade what is happening on my server for the gates opening in a couple days' time. I wouldn't trade it because I chose a PvP RP server because there's that still element of PvP, but you can relax sometimes. I'm not a hardcore PvE. I never have been. I'd most likely dabble in PvP. That's what attracts me to the game, and that's what I love about the game more than anything. But again, I wouldn't trade this up for anything. It's so much fun just seeing constantly in the Zandalar Tribe Discord what is happening with the war effort, who's getting pissed off at who, all the drama and stuff, all the juicy bits. I mean, even I went in a battleground yesterday as of recording this, or technically 2 days ago now, and someone noticed our realm. Someone noticed our realm that we were from. I was with a few guildies, and they said, "Oh, I've heard your realm. Are the Horde contributing to the war effort now?" And we were just having a back and forth. And this guy wanted the Zandalar Tribe Discord so that he could join and just watch the drama. It's gotten that ridiculous, and it's getting that well known between the entire WoW community that it's becoming the biggest meme ever. I mean, you've got realms that are 99% Horde populated and 1% Alliance populated, but this is the newest thing, that the Horde are just not even going to try and contribute to the war effort at all. It's just, they got this guild have to deal with it. And it's just so much fun in my eyes. Nothing like this will ever happen again, because the war effort is a one-time thing, I believe. I believe there's no sort of event like it, going forward. Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mr. Pandaria. Don't think there's anything like it whatsoever in any of them expansions. But, hey, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. What can you do? But thank you all very much for listening. I'm going to leave it there today. I will keep you posted about it. It might not be a complete episode. There might not just be a full episode on it next week. It might just be going back and sort of dabbling and giving you an update on where everything stands in terms of if we're opening the gates, stuff like that. But once again, thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you very much. And I will see you next week for the next episode. Take care all. Goodbye.